After our color and our cleared jambs were cured, we put the car back together for the last time. This involved rehanging the front fenders, putting the header panel in, the lower valance, putting the doors on, putting the hood on, and realigning all those parts. And it's tricky because all this stuff was in fresh paint and we certainly didn't want to scratch anything. So we spent time to make sure we taped off the edges of the fenders and taped off the edges so that we didn't bump the panels into each other and scratch anything. So once we got all the sheet metal hung back on the car and we were happy with the way it fit, we decided to do something a little bit different and actually wet sand the base coat color. Normally we don't do this, normally you don't need to do this, but on a high-end show car, we wanted this finish to be as flat and as shiny as possible. So we used some 1000 grit 3M Trizact system and wet sanded all that color in preparation for a couple of more coats of color and then the clear coats. Normally when wet sanding, you always want to use a block so you don't put finger marks or gouges or impressions in the paint surface. But in this case, Nathan is merely kind of scrubbing the paint surface, preparing it for the next layer of color. He's not putting any pressure on it, just dragging the paper over the surface to open it up so that our next layer of color will have proper adhesion. He's also looking to remove any fine dust specks or imperfections in this layer. So we got the car all sanded, cleaned it up, masked it up, put it back in the booth, and sprayed a couple of coats of Mars Red on the entire car. This way we made sure that the color was the same from the fender to the door and on the deck lid, because remember we painted this car in pieces. So by putting it all together, dusting them with a couple of more coats of color, we were guaranteed that the whole car was going to be the same color.